So that is the sound of a lawnmower. It's been out there for a while. I mean, he's not even right in front of my building right now. I can see also that what he's doing is that he will mow in front of my building, and he will leave like all of these places unmowed so that he can come back here and mow again. And he's doing the same thing like on the other side of the parking lot. He'll just like mow like a little section, and then he'll leave it. He'll go somewhere else. I mean, he's just basically doing like, it's just like mobiles. Like just and there was even like he's got the shirt on the back that says Heinz on the back. And I don't know if it's a coincidence or not that earlier this morning I published something about gang stalking and showing that there is a group of people who are using my name. So like they have an entire gang stalking like website and blog that they all kind of contribute to this blog, and they've made it show up on a Google search in my name. I have to say, I mean, I've thinking a couple things about that particular blog. One is that, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I suppose I could certainly contact Google to try to have them remove it. At the same time, there's probably other types of blogs like that happening, and I don't look at this one every so often to see what they're doing. I would have to probably go and look for other ones to see other people kind of organizing to gang stalk me. I mean, the point is, the president and other people in the conglomerate need to stop endorsing people to be violent towards me. They need to stop endorsing people to be sexually violent toward me, and the videos of me are certainly a form of sexual violence. And they need to stop making this particular example out of my life. Right? That's what needs to happen. They need to discourage anyone at all from being treated this way. They need to discourage people from treating other people this way, and they haven't done that, right? There was like a little group of kids like playing out on the lawn, like out basically out in front of my window when this lawnmower guy was like right across the other side of the parking lot. I mean, they have no idea. And I mean, also, I've said before, the fact that this is happening is making a lot of other people unsafe besides me, and that's not my fault. Also, not only where I live, also the example that is being set is making people unsafe everywhere. It's making people unsafe everywhere. Women, children, men whom other men feel that they can just gang up on, in particular people who disagree with what the conglomerate is saying, or probably who disagree with people who are able to put themselves in a position of power kind of anywhere. That's the example that's being set by what's happening to me. Also, I have noticed that for quite a while, Braintree police, there are Braintree police who protect me. I see them, that there's like police cars that will drive by when I walk to, basically whenever I leave my apartment, because they know that I get stalked, right? They know that I get stalked, and I wouldn't be, and they usually, at this point, sometimes it's usually a few Braintree police cars, sometimes it's also a state police car, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually patrol the neighborhood frequently to make sure that there's nothing happening here. I wouldn't be surprised if they send police cars out during the night, at regular intervals, and things like that. Also, probably since I got to the Boston area a couple years ago, that's probably the reason why I'm alive, and why I haven't been beaten, really beaten, and why I haven't been raped, why I haven't been abducted. These police officers and other police officers in other parts of the Boston area doing those types of things is probably that is very likely the reason that I am still alive today, and the worst things that could happen to me have not happened to me yet, right? That would be my guess. And the thing is, though, here's the lawnmower again. The thing is, though, I mean, that they can't. I don't know how they can protect everyone in the neighborhood. That's the thing. I mean, especially if it's a situation where I leave, I do my walk to the store, or I go into Boston for a while, or whatever it is. They know where I am. They're making sure that I'm okay. What about everybody else who lives here? I mean, that's the thing. Or everyone else who lives, sort of right outside the development, on that street, or everybody else in Braintree, everybody in the world, basically, because of the conglomerate's behavior is endangering, everyone, right? So, I mean, especially if you think about it this way, I mean, look at that gang stalking that's being done on the internet from just from a search of my name. right? And it hasn't been stopped, you know, it hasn't been stopped. The conglomerate hasn't stopped. I'm assuming, you know, I'm assuming, because I've published something about that particular blog before, and the president has to change his behavior. The conglomerate hasn't changed its behavior. You know, people, how are people, why wouldn't people just be like, why wouldn't we event people be like, all right, well, here she is in her own neighborhood. She is, you know, these things, this stuff is happening to her with lawnmowers and all this other stuff. And she, you know, she can't make it stop, even with all the documentation and the times and people in which she's being respected in other ways. I'm just gonna check out her neighborhood, and I'm gonna abduct a kid from that neighborhood and see what happens. Or I'm gonna abduct a kid from another part of Braintree. Or I'm living in another place in Massachusetts area, but I know that, you know, this is like, the police probably just have way more than they can deal with in terms of investigating this type of crime, because of what's because of all the other people who are doing things like this, because of the examples that's being set. You know, I'm just gonna molest a kid, I'm just gonna abduct a kid, I'm just gonna kill a kid. You know, the New York Times is endorsing, you know, ritual abuse. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna abduct a woman, rape a woman, kill a woman. You know, I'm gonna do these things. Because the conglomerate is saying it's okay, right? It's terrible. It's terrible. It's really terrible.